The one thing that really turned me onto the sport is it's not size related. Lacrosse is a sport where anybody can be a great player. When I was at Maryland, there was a guy that started on attack with me that was 5'5", and we had a starting D guy that was 6'8", and we had anybody in between. I'd always tell kids that story. You know, everyone's got a lacrosse stick, and if you're willing to put forth the effort in your stick work, there's a spot for you on the field. So that's why, you know, at an early age, the stick was always in my hands, and it still is to this day. I've got sticks all around my house, always pick it up, cradle, switch hands throughout the house. Every day I'm on the wall, every day I'm shooting, and it's just so important. And I try and talk to kids, you know, it's not gonna be good enough if you wanna be a great player, and not every kid has that goal, but the kids that do have the goal that they wanna go on to college and play in the MLL, you know, whatever league they wanna play in, if they wanna go to college, you've gotta put forth, you know, the time and the effort. It's not gonna be good enough to go to your team's practice, put your stuff in your bag until the next practice. You know, when I was growing up, every single day, every practice we had, when all my teammates and my friends were kind of, again, putting their stuff in their bag, I was on the wall, I was out back in my backyard with my dad, shooting on the goal, putting in a lot of time on my own. That's what's gonna give you an edge, and that's what's gonna help you as a player. You know, when I was a little kid, when I was training, every rep was so important. Whether it was the way my stick was strung, I wanted every shot to be in the same spot. Whether it was on the wall, I wanted every pass to be in the same spot. So I always had to make sure, first and foremost, my stick and my pocket was consistent. You know, if I would take a couple shots and one ball would sail, a lot of times it's because that ball was slippery. So trying to get those balls out of there, it's just so important. With the time you're gonna put in, you know, there's only a certain amount of time in the day, and with the time that you put in, it's gotta count. So that's why whatever product I use, I wanna make sure it's giving me the most consistent result. So when I see a greaser, honestly, the first thing I do is I want to pick it up and throw it as far as I can. Actually happened this week. There was an old ball, and I picked it up and threw it as high as I could in the bleachers. That's a true story. So that happens all the time. If there is a greasy ball, I just want to get it as far away from our shooting drill as possible. Picked up the ball, and like everyone was throwing it high. So like when I got it, I looked at it and I was like, "Ref, you gotta stop the game, it's a greaser." And like we played it out, but like the first chance that we got to, you know, when the ball went to the end line, the guy knew to pick up a different ball, but yeah, it happened. It's gross. So that's why I'm fired up about the Mint ball. You know, East Coast Eyes is, you know, they're trying to cut out all those greasers. You know, making every rep count, every shot count, every pass. It's all going to be consistent with a ball that's not going to go bad. So that's why I'm really excited about the Mint ball. Every player can relate to a greaser. You know, it's happened to every player. Every practice, all throughout, you know, the country, the world. Kids are constantly, you know, having to face the biggest issue in lacrosse is a greaser. So the Mint ball is gonna, you know, totally cut that problem out. You know, every rep's gonna count, every shot's gonna count, and you're not gonna have to worry if the next ball you pick up is a greaser.